I'm back. I literally just went and looked at the last recording I did, and it was from August 6th. And you know, life. I have been going through this like ebb and flow of life and what I'm supposed to be doing and when I'm supposed to be doing it and how I'm supposed to be doing it, and it's a literal constant battle. But ultimately, I know it is my life calling to literally share my story and to connect with people. I'm tired of the insanity cycle. Like, in my head, I know that like doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results is literally insane. I'm ready to move into this next chapter of my life. Let's do my makeup. Beauty influencers that are good at makeup do not come for my neck, or followers that are good at makeup don't come for my neck. I'm learning. This is new to me. I recently was applying this, sorry, my mirror is right here, with my fingers, and I didn't really love that, but like, isn't that how you're supposed to apply tinted moisturizer? I don't know. Let's go for it. Ugh, I hate this. I know nothing. So, story about my life calling. I can distinctly remember a conversation I had with my grandmother when I was seriously probably only 10, 11, maybe 12 years old, and we were at my birthday party, and she asked me what I wanted to do when I grew up, and my response was that I wanted to be a doctor, but specifically I wanted to be a doctor without borders, because I wanted to make an impact on as many people as I possibly could. Like, at that young age, I knew that I wanted to impact the lives of as many people as I could. I wanted to do good. And so like with that in mind, through high school, I always thought I wanted to be in the medical field. And I went to a high school where you can get college credits while you were in high school, and so I was like, perfect. So I started taking all of those types of credit, or those types of classes that pertained to like following some type of medical path. On the flip side of that, I was also taking courses that were dual credit, but for things I really liked, like writing. And so throughout those classes, the ones that were medical focused, I realized the medical field probably wasn't for me. It didn't gross me out or anything, it just didn't really come easy to me. And so I was spending more time frustrated than not. So I was just like, okay, well maybe like this isn't for me, but how can I still make an impact on the world? And so I was like, oh, I'll study to be a teacher. Learned really quickly that that was not gonna be the path for me. I don't have the patience to be around kids. I think it would have been something I would have liked for a year or two, but then ended up hating. So I was like, well, shit, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm about to graduate high school and go to college. Like, I toured the education department at the schools I was going to, and so I was like so confused about what to do. So I kind of just took like a really, what I considered an easy path. It felt right, even though I didn't really know what right meant. And I chose to study business and communications, and it ended up working in my favor because it came really easy to me. There was a lot of writing that went into it, which is what I really enjoyed, still enjoy. But I just was like never sure how I was going to make an impact. I kind of lost touch with that dream. I just like fell into the groove of like, this is the next step I'm supposed to be taking. This is the next thing I'm supposed to be doing. And so I just kept writing that out. Through that time, I also found other interests, which one of which is fashion and style. And like, I really just became attached to that type of industry. I don't know if it was like the reality industry or just fashion, but I loved it. And so I was like, okay, well, maybe this is how I'm going to, not necessarily, I didn't necessarily think I was gonna make an impact, but like, maybe this is how I'm going to put my stamp on the world, is being a part of this industry. I thought looked like, you know, I'm just going to get in somehow, writing for a major like magazine or fashion brand, and that's how I'm going to work my way in, and then I'll make a lot of connections. Well, like, everybody knows that's not how it works. Like, you kind of have to find the connections before you get anywhere, which is fucking stupid. I pretty much took the first internship I could get. It was in PR, and it was good because I found out I hated PR. Like, props to anyone who works in public relations. Like, I truly, truly, truly could never. But I don't know, that I was like convinced that I would get there eventually. Like, I just have to keep doing what gets handed to me, and then I'll get there, And I never did. It wasn't until like the last couple of years where I realized that I could have the opportunity to touch a lot of people this way. Like, I had no intention of getting into the influencer community when it happened. Yes, I wanted to be a part of it, but I like never really knew how or what that would look like. And I still think I struggle with it because it's like I fight imposter syndrome constantly. Like, should I be here? Should I even have this voice or this space? But there's so much about me that you don't know. And ooh, I feel like I'm gonna get emotional, but I'm not. I am going to be 30 in February, and I've had a really crazy life. Granted, there are people's stories out there who are wildly different and way more traumatic and heart-wrenching than what I went through. But by a lot of ways of nurture and honestly nature, it's mind-blowing to me sometimes that I am here doing this, living in an apartment in the middle of a city by myself. I've worked really, really hard for everything I have, and it wasn't easy, ever. I've experienced a lot of loss, honestly, in like the first 25 years of my life. And that's just something that a lot of people don't know. I experienced a lot of loss when I was a kid that I think would connect me to a lot of people. I want to be an example that like, you can do literally whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. And it gets a little bit woo-woo and a little bit witchy sometimes because that's how I choose to live and think. But like, the societal norm of following this path, this plan, this timeline of going to college, getting a job, switching corporate jobs when that one no longer works out, but you have to be there a certain amount of time for it to make sense, and it's not for everybody. And although I'm really thankful for my education and I'm glad I did it, I have no regrets because it did get me to where I am today. You know, I don't actually think that corporate America is right for me. Essentially, I'm going to start telling my story from the beginning. I'm probably gonna bounce around. I'm not gonna do it on this video, but this is just me telling you why. I want to create a space where people feel like they can relate and they feel like they have a space to both grieve and grow at the same time, and know that it's okay to be sad and happy at the same time. But I just want to create a space where everyone feels welcomed and loved and heard, and people who have gone through shit I've gone through. Like, I want to be an example that you can literally keep chasing your dreams. So it's weird to say out loud, it's always felt a little fake. Like, you mean you're just going to like share your life with people and hope it resonates? And it's like, yeah, I think that is what I'm gonna do, so I hope it resonates. Actually, I wonder if I can find, I wrote it down, like my actual goal. So I listen to like personal development podcasts every morning when I'm doing my morning routine, which I've shared a little bit about on Instagram, but I'm going to obviously start sharing more here. But my morning routine has become very sacred to me. Part of that includes habit stacking, listening to a personal development podcast or something along those lines while ice rolling or sculpting my face or stretching. And I had to write down my passion and my purpose for one reason or another. It might have been a book I was reading, I don't know, because every morning I also read a personal development or like a growth in spirituality book. And my passion that I wrote down, and I'm sure like this will change and ebb and flow, but my passion to my core, and it has been this way since I was 10, 11, or 12, is to help others feel included, to help others feel seen, to help others feel better, and show others how easy it can be to feel good. Like, my whole last 2.5 years have been focused on how to feel good, even when times are really hard and really frustrating. And I've created like tips and tricks. I haven't even outlined these, but it's just like thinking about what my days look like and how I like get myself out of those dark places, or how I've learned to just sit in those hard feelings but then not stay there for too long. I want to create that space. I want to create that space that I just read to you. And how I'm going to do it is by sharing my story through my YouTube channel, Instagram, TikTok, maybe some other mediums eventually. I think each medium will be a little bit different. I feel like my YouTube is going to be a little bit more in depth, because obviously I can make longer videos, but I think a lot of them will be chats. I'll still do some style related videos as well, just getting more real. Okay, my camera's dying, which is a terrible timing. So essentially, like, thank you for giving me this space. Even if it's like only 100 of you, that's 100 more people I get to open my heart to. So I'm excited and I love you.